Well, welcome back to Assembly TV. That was the Extreme Music Compo. We haven't got a huge amount of time here, but with me to discuss that I have NE7 of Triad and Gasman, who you saw earlier. So yeah, we're keeping it brief, I suppose, but good competition all round.
I think so. I think that was really impressive, actually. I mean, there were some great NES tracks in there and some awesome Commodore 64 tracks as well.
I find it was a bit of a mixed bag, really. I think it's kind of a lot like Eurovision. This you've got like 3 minutes to impress the crowd, and well, unfortunately, you don't have any sort of girls ripping off skirts, so you have to.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of good entries. There was a couple that were sort of made me wince a bit.
There's a couple that had some muddy sound going on and stuff, but I mean, the ones that we really did like, I think we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up the last track actually, which was the VIC-20 track.
Yeah, I mean, that was really interesting. It sounded almost samply, which was really crazy.
Quite impressive.
Yeah, I think knowing that the VIC-20 sound from previous releases, obviously, fully everyone knows Robotic Liberation, that sort of thing, and to actually get that sort of sound out of the VIC-20 sound chip, it's pretty.
Yeah, I mean that just really had it going on that track. That was awesome, and I think track 5 as well. The was it Heartbreak?
Heartache.
Heartache.
That was by Bright Lights.
Just really had a lot of interesting sounds in it, especially the snare and stuff. Had a really old school vibe to it, and a lot of interesting.
It was that was one of the NES tracks. Oh no, there was 2 NES tracks. Wasn't there?
The 2 NES tracks especially were really cool. I think the second one they played, which was
I was a Nintendo girl.
I can probably bring
Nintendo Gold.
Yeah, I was a Nintendo girl.
That was just awesome. I'm sorry. I mean that just really had some really. I know it had some Mario type sounds in it, which people generally hate in the NES music scene. But I mean it definitely had some really nice ideas and some really strange sort of sounds in it as well that I hadn't heard a lot in other NES tracks that I've heard recently. So yeah, it definitely had good beat and stuff, and it was really cool.
Yeah, the one before as well, Heartbound. It sounded like it was made by little elves.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It had really nice flow to it.
That was a sort of really cheerful bunnies jumping around in a field sort of thing. So.
Well, seeing it was done in Nerd Tracker as well. I mean, that's not the easiest tool in the world to just jump into and use as well. I mean, it's pretty impressive, to be honest. I think that's really cool. And it definitely had a really good vibe running through it in general.
Yeah.
I think as well the other track that stands out is track 12. 12. Just the sounds in general were just absolutely awesome.
Yes, I mean the samples had obviously been pressed pretty tightly, and it managed to basically get some treble out of it, which was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely had the funk going on.
Yeah, and like the effects used to try and make up for the low quality of the samples.
Yeah. It was nice hearing some sort of talkboxy type effects running through that one as well, which was nice, you know, especially in such a small tune as well. It was very impressive.
So, I mean, but
it's difficult. It's very difficult to pick one that I think should pip all of them to the post. I think it's a toss-up for me. I think track 5 I absolutely adored, and the NES tracks, and I'm just completely torn between the NES tracks, track 5 and track 12, to be honest.
So no clue what to vote yet.
It's really difficult. I'm just going to have to drink loads and just pick one at random, I think.
Just bang your head on the space bar.
Yeah, I'm just going to hit my head on the keyboard, I think.
I think for me it's a toss-up between either the VIC-20 one, the intercooler, and the one we haven't mentioned yet, which is a Little Love Song, which is
that's it.
Yeah, I think that's
that VIC-20 song was just crazy. You know, when you look at the audio limitations of that machine. And the sounds that were coming out of that was crazy. But there's so many to choose from.
Yeah, I think it's a question of really whether you're rating it on the tech, because as well as that one, there's also Bitty Pooley or something like that, which is the C64 one. Yeah, I think we were saying that was like really dirty drums. And
it just had some filth going on.
So it's something you don't really hear that often from the C64.
Yeah,
so
there needs to be more dirtiness going on in Commodore 64 music.
So overall, a lot of good quality entries there.
I was really chuffed. I thought that was brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're obviously we get a bit short of time now, because coming up right next is the Extreme Graphics Compo, so stay tuned for that, and we'll be back later. And thanks to NE7 and Gasman for joining us.
Thank you.
Good night.